It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, January 6th. It is my 2-year anniversary of Daily Dose of Donna. Today, January 6th, 2023 was my first official show. I was not live on YouTube. I wasn't even on YouTube 2 years ago. I didn't even do TikTok. I didn't do Instagram. I mean, I did for my other business. I just did a little podcast and put it out, and I had 18 downloads on January 6th, 2023. And 2 years later, I hit number 15 on the TV and film top charts over the weekend. It's been such a ride. I literally can't even get over it. It's been such an incredible journey. Patreon is exploding, the YouTube charts, the obviously the podcast charts, so many new reviews over the weekend. Like, it's unreal. It's really, really it's been such a ride. I am so grateful for every single one of you here, really, truly, like beyond. So before we get into the show, a moment of gratitude for you, because I couldn't do this obviously without you. It would just be daily dose of Donna talking to myself in the mirror. And I do that all day, every day, all the time. I just sit and talk to myself. So thank you, dosers. Those of you who like me, who don't like me, who are on the fence about me, who question who I am. I do too. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Truly, we have quite a show. Truly, quite a show. We are going to talk about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. No new developments since Friday, but we do have a lot of interesting things that have been popping up about just like the past, and some interesting theories around Nicepool. I can't even get over this. This was shocking. And I'm so curious about your thoughts. Also, some promotional stuff that were brought to my attention on Friday night by one of you guys. And I am blown away that Ryan Reynolds thought this was a good idea. We're going to talk about that. Also, Blake Lively's past of sexual harassment on set in when she was working on Gossip Girl. Never knew about this either. Then we're going to talk about a little update on the Heather McDonald, Jeff Lewis story, which I spoke about on Friday. Little Golden Globes. And of course, Sister Wives, we finally saw Robin Brown get kicked off the ATV. Guys, this was a crazy time. Don't you worry. We will get through it all. I will put timestamps so you can just knock it down through and through. We're going to have fun. Okay. Don't you worry. Get ready to laugh. Get ready to have fun. This, my friends, is your daily dose of Donna. Oh my God, you guys. Number one, I'm seeing all of your comments in the live chat. So sweet. Jessica says you were the very first podcast I ever listened to. I broke your podcast virginity. Cherry, what do you say? Now you listen every day. That is so kind. You guys are the best. Anne Marie, what would we do without you? I don't know. What would I do without you, beautiful Alicia? Suki says, you make my work days special, Donna. For real, I eat lunch with you almost every day. Well, what are you eating? And why didn't you invite me to lunch? I would like some of your lunch. I want to know what you guys eat for lunch. All right. Anne-Marie says, forgive me, but I laughed heartily when she flew out of that quad bike. And trust me, I will show you the clip of her flying out of that quad bike because I had to watch it 6 times. Should we watch it now and then later also? It is quite the funniest clip I've ever seen of Robin Brown flying out of that bike. And I'll tell you, she's actually okay. She did okay. Like, she's fine. So now we can laugh about it. If she was truly injured, I wouldn't laugh about it, but she's fine. Oh my God. I could have watched it 18 times. It was the best. Whoa. It was the best moment I have ever seen. Maddie, my girl, Maddie, with her super sticker. You are the kindest. Literally adore you. Thank you so much. Thank you, truly. Okay, this is a great day already. It's a great day in the neighborhood. I just got a little news alert Ruby Frank. Do you say Frank or Frankie? I always say Frank. Remember that mom blogger who was like going on YouTube and she was horrendous and ended up getting charged with the worst abuse like for her children, like disgusting, horrible mom blogger that was just horrible behind the scenes and was recently charged. So her daughter, her eldest daughter, Sherry, how old is Sherry? She's 21. She shared a photo to Instagram last week. She showed a ring on her left hand, so she's engaged. And she told her 621,000 followers that she'll no longer be sharing details about her personal life, but she is releasing a book. Did you guys know this? She's releasing a tell-all book next week, and it's going to be called The House of My Mother. I am dying to read that book. That story is, I listened to one of those podcasts, like a Dateline podcast, all about it. I never followed her. I was never like a Ruby Frank fan, but whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to read that book. There's a place in hell for those mommy bloggers that abuse their children behind the scenes. Like, I can't deal with those people. Absolutely. Absolutely can't deal. Did you guys watch the Golden Globes last night? I feel like we can kind of just do like a quick once over on it, just like a quickie. Um, like just a little fast moment. All I'm gonna say is this: Demi Moore made a deal with the devil or the good devil. I don't know what she did. I need to know who she sees. I need to know how much she paid. I need to know what she drinks, what she eats. I need to know where she sleeps. I need to know what she puts on her face. I am so incredibly obsessed with Demi Moore's everything, top to bottom. Andrew says she's on the substance, but I don't know what that means because I haven't seen the movie. Don't ruin it for me. Now I feel like I have to see it. Demi Moore looked like a goddess last night. She looked like an absolute perfect goddess in her speech, the whole night, truthfully. But she won the award for Best Actress. And what was so beautiful and amazing about it is that she won after 45 years, she said, of acting. She has never won, she said, for anything, which I had no idea. Did you guys? I was just blown away by how amazing that is. She said a producer called her a popcorn actress. This is from the Washington Post. It's the first thing that pulled up. I didn't mean to just click on this, but this was what it was. Look at how beautiful she is. What a dress. Brad Goreski styles her. And my friend Jamie Greenberg, actually like a good friend of mine in real life, is her makeup artist and is also Kaylee Cuoco's makeup artist and was doing makeup. And actually, I don't know if Jamie did her makeup or just Kaylee's, but I know that she was with Brad yesterday. So I know that she definitely was doing Kaylee Cuoco's makeup and was with Brad Goreski yesterday. But Brad posted the cutest video jumping up and down when she won. Brad did an incredible job with this dress. She was perfection. I don't think you could look better than Demi Moore last night. And her speech was so amazing. She basically said she said 30 years ago, I had a producer tell me I was a popcorn actress. And at that time, I made that mean that this wasn't something I was allowed to have, that I could do movies that were successful, that made a lot of money, but that I couldn't be acknowledged. And then she said, what was the line that she said about the measuring stick? She said, I had a woman say to me, just know that you will never be enough, but you can know the value of your worth if you just put down the measuring stick. Oh! And so today I celebrate this as a marker of my wholeness and of the love that is driving me, and for the gift of doing something I love and being reminded that I do belong. I mean, as a mother of 3 daughters, to have her mother say that, are you joking me? How sweet and how amazing. And look at Patrice also with the super sticker. You guys don't have to do this. This is so, so, so kind. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Did you see the video of her daughter celebrating her win? I have to play it for you. When I tell you, I was so just blown away by this. It was the cutest thing. Obviously Demi Moore has 3 daughters. We've seen them grow up for so many years, and they're so the cutest little now they're not little girls anymore. Now they're all 3 adults. And I just have an appreciation for them. I think because they are, I don't know, they just seem like a good group of women. None of them seem too out there. They seem like they're very close. They're very good with their dad, who clearly suffers, Bruce Willis, from aphasia, and I believe aphasia and dementia. I'm not exactly sure. And they just seem like a touching, close family. There was all these videos of them celebrating Christmas and New Year's together. And the fact that they aren't out partying it up with all their friends, but they're hanging out with Demi Moore on Christmas and New Year's, by choice. And it's just, yes, and exactly. Her love for Bruce, Demi Moore is still close with Bruce. I don't know. There's something about them. It just feels so sweet. And I don't know. I want to hang out with them. I want to know what it's like inside their house. This was the video of them finding out that their mom won the award. It's the cutest. I'm sure you guys all saw it, but this is it. This is their 3 daughters and a bunch of other friends and family. I watched it maybe 100 times. I could have kept watching it. I literally couldn't get enough. I was like, this is a dream. This is a dream for a mother to see your 3 daughters and your granddaughter just jumping up and down for you. I don't know. I just was blown away by it. I thought it was the sweetest thing ever. But other than that, Nikki Glaser is the only other, I think, prime thing of that show. Nikki Glaser killed it as the host. I wish they utilized her more. We saw a great opening monologue, and then we didn't see that much else. It was a pretty shitty show. I thought whoever directed the show should never be asked back. I'm sorry. 2 seconds and then we'll get into the stories. Who made the decision to have the stars walk out onto the stage? And I've been in that room so many times, in that specific ballroom, because that's where we used to hold all our casting awards. When I used to be a casting director, that's where we used to have the Artios Awards. That's the casting director awards. And then also that's where I had my prom, in that specific room. Who made the decision to walk out onto that stage for all the presenters and then turn your body so that you were presenting with the audience behind you and the camera was here? So this is how you would present. Hi. So ridiculous. Also, oh my God, Maddie brings up a great point. The mic hogging. Melissa McCarthy was actually one of the funnier presenters, but she was with Aquafina and her dress was 46 feet wide and she was on the mic and Aquafina was right here. And so when she was talking, Aquafina was like, and Melissa McCarthy, it was so out of control. There were so many issues when Kathy Bates was up on stage with, what's his name? Ramos from Hamilton and so many other things. I hated every second of it. I felt uncomfortable. I was like, we're in your face. I don't like close talkers. I felt like I was in your space. I felt like I could smell your breath. It was giving that scene with Dorit and Lisa Rinna. I don't want to smell your breath when I have a conversation with you. You know what I mean? Awkward moments. So many awkward moments. They need the presenters to be facing the camera and the audience. I don't want to see the audience behind you. I don't want to see people walking to their seats while you're speaking. It didn't work for me. Okay, let's, oh yeah, Cynthia says VH1 pop-up video vibes with the word bubbles. What was that? It was like Google Maps. They were showing this is where he's sitting. This is where he's sitting. This is where, what? Okay, let's move on. Pamela says, if I can smell your breath, you're too close. It's so true though. It's so true. Let's move on to some other stories, but because it's a new year, we do have to shout out a very, very important thing, because let's be real. Did the holiday season throw your routine completely off? It did mine. If you're ready to take charge of your life and embrace full mental clarity this year, let me introduce you to Via Hemp. Via is the Swiss Army knife of wellness. With their premium THC free products, they combine the natural power of cannabinoids like CBD, CBG, and CBN with botanical supplements to help you feel your best. Whether you need better sleep, more focus, or a little relief, Via has something for everyone. Personally, I'm obsessed with their gummies, mostly THC free, and their legal THC options. They're perfect for winding down after a long day. And I've been sleeping like a baby. Plus, everything sourced from trusted American farms and shipped discreetly to your door. No stress, no hassle, and no medical card needed. So if you're 21 and over, don't wait. Visit the link in my description and use code Daily Dose for 15% off your order. And if you're new to Via, they'll even throw in a free gift of your choice. So after checkout, let them know you've heard about them here on Daily Dose of Donna. It's a small way to support my show while you level up your wellness this year. Enhance your everyday with a Via. So just make sure to go to Via and enjoy Daily Dose of Donna even more. Okay, we've got to get into the first story, the first story of the show. Blake Lively. Did you guys know that Blake Lively has been sexually harassed on set before? Did you guys know this? I truthfully just found out yesterday. How? Randomly in a Google search. Blake Lively was sexually harassed on the set of Gossip Girl. Did you guys know that? I had no idea. In 2017, Blake Lively was sexually harassed on the set of Gossip Girl by a makeup artist. In this case, she was, well, let's see, it's 2000. I think she was like 30 years old ish, or a little bit younger at that time. This makeup artist was I believe it was a man, it was a man. Allegedly, according to this case, he would do things like put lipstick on her with his finger, which I don't know if that's considered. This is just what I read from this article, from the LA Times article, and then it was also in People magazine. And also, and I think this part is kind of creepy, she fell asleep one time. They were on location and she fell asleep while she was getting her makeup. And then it says Asif says 2007. It wasn't on in 2017. It said 2017. This 2017. The article was in 2017. That's when I read it. It was this the picture. She was sleeping while she was getting her makeup done on location, and she said she woke up and he was filming her. She was clothed, but he was filming her. Look, I am not a makeup artist on set. I have absolutely no idea how those things work. Why do people film others for these reasons? I would imagine I don't know. I'm not here to judge whether or not that's harassment. That's not the point. It feels creepy, to be honest, to be filmed when you're sleeping. I would imagine there could be a reason. I'm sure there's a fight both ways. The point is, why am I bringing this up? When the whole Me Too movement was happening in 2017, she brought this up in 2017. Okay, so Asif is saying, I just Googled it. Gossip Girl filmed 2007 to 2012. Okay, the article came out in 2017. This is when she spoke about it in 2017. Thank you. So in 2017 is when she spoke about this, because it was during the Me Too movement. And when Harvey Weinstein was going down and all these people were speaking out is when she said, this happened to me too when I was on Gossip Girl. The reason why she brings this up and the reason why I bring this up is not to say that this is like, oh, this is a pattern. That's not what this is. Because I totally believe that people can be sexually harassed multiple times. That's not what I'm saying in any way. This is not to say like, you should question her in any way. I think that the reason why this is important is because the story from her journey of being sexually harassed was that she had an issue being heard at the time. Her story was that she complained to producers for months when it was happening, and they did not listen to her. They did nothing about it. Remember, on Gossip Girl, she was a young girl, and she was very she wasn't powerful on the set. She was just an actress. She wasn't of a position of power. She was not where she is now, or she was on It Ends With Us. She wasn't an executive producer. She wasn't married to Ryan Reynolds. She wasn't where she is in her career now. So she was asking producers, telling producers, and nothing was being done. In fact, months went by, and finally she got called into the set by the producers for a meeting where she said she finally felt like something was going to be done. She was actually looking forward to this meeting, thinking finally they're going to do something. And they bring her into a meeting and they say, "We have a serious issue that we want to talk to you about." She's like, "Thank God they're going to finally, fire him." And guess what happens? They say, "Your dog pooped in the dressing room in the trailer, by your bathroom. That's actually a serious problem. We can't have that anymore." And that was the serious issue that they needed to have a conversation with her about, was about her dog defecating in her dressing room. And they didn't mention or deal with whatsoever the makeup artist that she had an issue with. So she eventually had to go to attorneys, lawyers, to get him finally removed off the set. And then apparently, according to her, this makeup artist was then referred or given referrals from the producers to be allowed to work on other sets. I don't know who the makeup artist is. I haven't done research on like where he works, if he continues to work, etc. The point is, they didn't take her seriously. That is not a surprise in this industry. This happens, okay? You guys know I am not like as much as a lot of people want to think that I'm anti-woman because I question certain things. I'm not. I believe that a lot of people don't take these claims seriously. So this is obviously a problem in this business. People do not take these claims seriously. She felt very uncomfortable. She woke up to her makeup artist, a man, filming her while she was sleeping. That's weird. It would make me uncomfortable too. Does he need to take a picture of her makeup? Maybe, but like, why is she sleeping? He could wake her up and then say, "I need to take a picture of your makeup." Right? Weird. The point is, and this is why I bring this up. That was 2000, God knows when. She talked about it in 2017. Now it's 2023 when these alleged incidents happen on set, on It Ends With Us. She is now in a position of power. She is now an A-list star. She is now an executive producer on the film. She is now also married to a very high-level man. She is now a CEO. She now is a millionaire. She now, the list goes on. She has a lot of power, obviously. She has so much power that she can change the schedule, that she can bring the wardrobe to her home, that she can change things up. She can change a lot of, timing and budget, etc. The point is that the alleged incidents of sexual harassment on It Ends With Us happened between May and June of 2023. Why is that important? Because the strike happens between June-ish, July of 2023 to the end of the year, November. In that time, it does say that Blake, according to Blake's complaint, not in Justin's lawsuit, but according to Blake's complaint and lawsuit, she did go to Sony HR. Sony is one of the studios, right? She did go to Sony HR to complain about working conditions. Did she say sexual harassment? I don't know, because I don't know if we've actually seen documents of her going to Sony HR. What we did see was those 29 points that she brought to that January 4th meeting, which was like 7 months later. What she did not do was go to attorneys and go to her union in those months before that meeting in January. Having gone through sexual harassment years prior, knowing that people do not listen, do not trust, and do not believe in the past, historically, would you, as someone like a Blake Lively, who is now in a position of power and who is experiencing, according to these this list of 29 things, would you, it's repeated, and this is repeated sexual harassment, according to her. This is not just like a one-off, like the guy filming her one time. This is repeated sexual harassment, multiple things. Would you not go so far to take crazy action on this man? If one time, one man filmed you, your makeup artist, while you were clothed and sleeping, filming you, and you went to lawyers, why didn't she go so far against Justin way early on in the process? These are the questions I'm asking. There's certain things that are a struggle for me to track. I don't fully understand how this all tracks. Why did she not complain to the union when they're on strike and the union is there to protect actors for these reasons? These are things that are important for me to question, like just as a bystander, right? These are things that as Justin Baldoni's attorneys, I would use in court, right? Here's another thing that would make me question. It's around the promotion of the film. And I posted this on Friday night. And I mean, TikTok has jumped all over it. It's been incredible. The posts that I posted on TikTok, people are losing their minds over because it is wild. And I didn't even know this existed. So I'm very, very grateful that someone posted this or someone told me about it so I could post it. Thank you. Sorry, not posted it. So someone told me about this, and I cannot believe this is real. A lot of you guys knew about this. Brandon Sklenar is the actor that played Atlas in the movie. He's the other man. If you watch the movie, he's the guy that the character Lily Bloom, that's Blake Lively's character, grew up with, right? She was in love with this kind of like homeless boy when she was growing up, and then she ends up meeting him as an adult. Oh my gosh, you guys are so kind. Kelly gave me a super sticker. Thank you. And Candace. Wow. You guys, is this because it's my anniversary? Bon anniversaire. Is that what you guys say? Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so Atlas, the guy who plays Atlas, is Brandon Sklenar. Now, at this point, when they're doing promotion for the movie, as you know, Ryan Reynolds wants nothing to do with Justin Baldoni, and neither does Blake or anyone, clearly. So during promotional times for this movie, this came out in August on Brandon Sklenar's Instagram account. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's 6 minutes long, but it includes 3 people interviewing Brandon Sklenar, the actor. It's Ryan Reynolds. It's Ryan Reynolds' mom. Okay, think about this. His mom, who's not an actress. So weird. And it's Hugh Jackman. Okay. So 3 people who have literally nothing to do with It Ends With Us. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, I guess, co-wrote something. Absolutely nothing to do with this movie other than Blake Lively. And remember, this is a movie about domestic violence where allegedly Blake Lively has been experiencing traumatic sexual harassment for the last few months on this film. This is how they have chosen to promote this movie. I'm just going to show you the first.
Okay. Oh, God. This is cool. It's not every day the husband gets to interview his wife's love interest in a film. It's kind of crazy.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Let's dive in, shall we? So I saw you posing in a photo with Mrs. Reynolds, and I'm sorry, what do you call her? Do you guys have a nickname or something? Okay, no, just so it's Mrs. Okay. Anyway, I saw this photo. It was very suggestive. So I got it right here. I'm gonna get right to it. How do you explain that? Is that genetics? You have some sort of like low angle squat routine to pop that region in that way? I mean, what's going on here, man? Are you smuggling pumpkins? Got a couple of small pumpkins there? Jesus Christ, my heart is beating like crazy right now. This reminds me of when I went on that meth journey, confront my inner child.
I think it was on a meth journey. I think you mean like ayahuasca, like South American plant known for its medicinal benefits. Definitely not meth. You should not be doing a meth journey.
I've been on a meth journey for about 6 months now.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you're probably going to die.
Feel well.
You don't look well.
Let's talk motorcycles here. Do you ride?
Yeah, a little bit.
What kind of bike do you like to ride?
I mean, anything with 2 wheels and kickstand, man.
Honestly, that could be anything. I mean, as far as I know, you just described, riding Stephen Hawking through the Nevada desert in the middle of a summer heat wave. He's not going to make it.
Ryan?
Yep.
You want to take a break?
From Blake? Sure.
Says 2 minutes later. Hugging.
Hello, Brandon.
No. What?
His mom.
Well, it's not every day the mother-in-law of the leading lady gets to interview the love interest and the man trying to replace my sweet little gummy bear, Ryan.
What are we watching? Does anyone find this it doesn't connect to that movie in any capacity ever? The movie is not a comedy, not even in the least. There's not one funny part in the movie. Like, I don't think there's one snickery part. There's not one part of the movie where you're like, like, it doesn't connect at all. It's not funny. It's literally a romantic. It's like a romantic love story, sad story. Like, how would you even describe it? Ends with us. It's a sad romance. There's nothing about it that's funny. Like, what are we watching? So why did Ryan Reynolds? This is why my focus is now on Ryan Reynolds. And I know that this is going to be unpopular. And I saw a thread earlier today saying, like, whoever is turning the focus on Ryan Reynolds here is like, this is where you've lost me. And I'm like, why? Why have you lost? In fact, like, what if Blake is actually being villainized here when really maybe what if it's Ryan that is the problem? I don't know. Look, we can have fun here and spin all these things. But Ryan Reynolds is a very smart man. He is a marketing genius, okay? He's been doing this since he was a kid. He knows this business so incredibly well. He was on Nickelodeon as a little kid. He was on 15. Did you guys ever remember that show? I loved it as a little kid. His mom obviously has been a showbiz mom. He knows this business. She knows this business. Then now, of course, Mint Mobile, Wrexham. This guy has production company after production company. Yes, he's known as the nice guy. But trust me when I tell you, it's very rare that just super, super, really, really nice guys make it that high up in Hollywood. It's very rare. Because in order to be really, really powerful and successful in Hollywood, you do kind of have to be a little bit of a dick sometimes. I just don't believe that you can go that high up without having a little bit of like a jerk in you. It's very rare to be really high up in any position in the world without having a little bit of a dick side in you. And I'm not saying that she didn't also get harassed. This is not to take away from her harassment in any way. I'm just saying that there has to be a few different things of play here, at play. I was talking to my source. I have to keep this person very anonymous because they just know too much and I can't ruin this source. The source is so good, you guys. This person has literal family members that are incredibly high up at the agency that we're all talking about and at the studio that is involved with this movie. So this person will continue to be a very good source of mine. However, I asked this person this morning, I said, we need to talk. Like, what are your thoughts? Because every time, and we only just have like 2 minutes to talk. So I can't get a lot out of them. But all I know is that they said, and truthfully, like, they have 2 family members that are involved. One is on the agency side and one is at Sony. Okay. So if you can only imagine how torn they are here. And they said, the first thing that they said was, I promise you, this is truthfully, Blake is a nightmare. This is the first thing that they said. Blake is a nightmare. This is an absolute career ender, and it's all Stephanie Jones' fault. That's what I swear I heard. Hand to God. Blake is a nightmare. This is a career ender. It's all Stephanie Jones' fault. Stephanie Jones is the PR woman who is responsible for all the leaked texts and emails for Jen Abel. I also heard that Jen Abel is actually a kind human being from the source. Now, Stephanie Jones is the PR person who essentially sold out Jen Abel because Jen Abel left and took out Justin Baldoni. Stephanie Jones is also part of the lawsuit, etc. She's very, very polarizing in this industry. We've talked about this a little bit. She's behind Tom Brady. She has an article, if you guys look it up. She has an article about Stephanie Jones' publicist. There's an article, a very popular article that says, where is it about Tom Brady? Well, I mean, there's a Business Insider article that came out on August 15th, 2024. Oh, damn, you have to pay for it. But it's literally called Who's Afraid of Stephanie Jones? It's a huge article. This woman is no joke. There's also multiple anti-Stephanie Jones accounts have been created. There's a website that's created called StephanieJonesLies.com. On Glassdoor, there's a 2-star review as to say what it's like to work at Jones Works. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I don't think that she's a very well-liked person in the business. And so I think that this is a publicist war, and the actors are being used as pawns. That's my gut feeling about this whole thing. Now, Nicepool. Let's just move into Nicepool really fast, and then we'll talk about Heather McDonald and Jeff Lewis. Nicepool. This is an interesting story. Nicepool is I didn't see Deadpool versus Wolverine. I didn't see the third one, but I did see Deadpool 1 and 2. And I don't think Nicepool was in 1 and 2. You movie buffs tell me. Nicepool is this character that if you guys see a picture of him, he looks like, I'm going to show you guys a picture really fast. He looks like Justin Baldoni. It's a character Ryan Reynolds created, obviously. This is him. Okay? He was in Deadpool and Wolverine. He's just like a cheesy character, right? He's if you guys want to buy this, he has the newly figure features a newly developed head sculpt with impressive likeness and separate rolling eyeballs. Do you want to buy it? It's only $305. Someone buy this. Okay, so everyone is like, people that are big fans of Deadpool are coming out and saying that Nicepool was based on Justin Baldoni, and there's all these theories why. Apparently, Nicepool is this character that is in the movie, and he's super, super cheesy. He's called in the movie, he comes in and he says, "I'm a feminist," which is really crazy. He comes in and he says he's a feminist. Then he talks about his wife who had a baby, or someone that just had a baby just a few weeks ago, and like, whoop, the figure is back to normal, which I guess Justin Baldoni has said about his own wife. This was like apparently Ryan Reynolds' way of trolling Justin Baldoni. A lot of people think this was such a baller move of Ryan Reynolds to do to Justin Baldoni. I feel like it's a way of bullying Justin Baldoni, but apparently, this went right over viewers' heads when this premiered in July 2024. So in this scene, he's wearing his hair in a man bun. And Justin Baldoni used to wear his hair in a man bun like always for years until 2023. If you watch old things, I always have to sneeze when I talk about Ryan. That was the ugliest sneeze. When I talk about Ryan Reynolds, I always have to sneeze. I'm sorry. Beyond the man bun, he also has some questionable commentary about Ladypool. okay, who Blake Lively actually plays as a cameo in the movie, saying, "Oh my goodness, wait until you've seen Ladypool. She's gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and you can't even tell." When Deadpool reacts to the commentary on Ladypool's post-baby body by telling him, "I don't think you're supposed to say that," Nicepool puts a hand on his own chest and assures Deadpool, "That's okay. I identify as a feminist." That feels really crazy, right? The dialogue seems pointed in light of allegations in Lively's complaint, in which she describes an incident that she says occurred 4 months after she gave birth to her fourth child, when Baldoni asked a trainer on the film set how much she weighed. She went on to say in legal filings that she was humiliated to learn that he had secretly called her fitness trainer without her knowledge or permission, and implied that he wanted her to lose weight in 2 weeks. Mr. Baldoni told her trainer that he had asked because he was concerned about having to pick her up for the scene in the movie, but there was no such scene. There's a couple other things. So like there's another moment where they talk about an intimacy coordinator in the Nicepool scene, and talking about how there's no need for an intimacy coordinator. And then there's also another thing where there's like a sign in the back of sage. There's something about a sage sign. And remember how in the movie, I'm sorry, in Blake Lively's complaint, she was like, "You're no longer allowed to sage people around me." So it was so obviously, clearly an attack on Justin Baldoni. Like Ryan Reynolds despises Justin Baldoni. I think maybe this all is about Ryan versus Justin. And that I'm just dying to know what the energy is like in Ryan and Blake's house right now. That's what I want to know. We're going to move on in 2 seconds, but I need to know from you guys, if you had to guess right now, as of today, what kind of energy is it in their house? Are they getting along? Are they fighting? Are they happy about the way it's going? Are they not? Because they had to have known this was all going to happen. Lawyers think ahead, right? Lawyers think ahead. So are they arguing? Are they getting along? Are they thinking this is all working out? Are they you know what I mean? You guys tell me. All right, let's move on to the weekend Patreon that set the serious Heather McDonald, Jeff Lewis, fans of flame. That's why I'm wearing orange. Orange for my fiery feelings. But I would need to take a sip of my soda. All right. I spoke about this a lot on my Patreon yesterday. By the way, I had so many new Patreon members join yesterday. I appreciate you guys on Patreon. That is such a kind place to support me and my business. Thank you for being there. I love my Patreon because I open up so much more on Patreon just about my real feelings. And I talked a lot yesterday on Patreon. I shared a lot. And I talked a lot about like the Reddit stuff too. So Clementine Comma. This is my Clementine Comma outfit. Yes. Clementine Comma. You know, Anne Hathaway has a trick that we just learned yesterday, where if you peel a clementine and you breathe through the hole, you calm down. You calm down. Okay. So if you really want to hear my true feelings, personal feelings about it all, you can go to Patreon. Here, I'm just going to tell you the facts. I will not give away what Heather McDonald said in her Patreon because I want you guys to support people on Patreon. And I hate when people give away content from my Patreon, from other people's Patreon. It's not fair. And you shouldn't be doing that. Paid content should stay paid. However, Heather opened up on her Patreon over the weekend and spoke about everything I spoke about on Friday. So Friday, I spoke about what happened on Jeff Lewis and his revealing of this so-called, I hate using the word virus, from Friday. I spoke about Jade Catapretta was the comedian that revealed that Justin Martindale had sent her this text message, or sorry, DM after Chumpmas. And she then sent that message to Michael Beck, who then went over and sent it to Jeff. And then in addition to, according to Jeff, multiple other chumps who then added to fuel to the fire and left Jeff, allegedly, according to Jeff, with no other choice but to, I guess, make it a public issue for all of the serious audience that listens to his show to weigh in on and finally decide that it was too much for him to fix and he needed to relieve this person from release, I should say, this person from the community of chumps. I stand by the fact that I do not agree with the way it was handled. I can't, I don't know all the other issues that there were in terms of personality. I don't know all the other issues that there were with Justin and the other chumps. I'm not in there in the HR room. If there is an HR room, I've heard there was an HR. I mean, Shane has joked about it many times. Like, I don't, I'm not HR. So, like, I'm HR. There's no HR. So, I don't know who the hell is HR over at Jeff Lewis. I didn't think there was HR. But I didn't love, after Friday's show here, I told you I wasn't listening live. And then I went and listened live. Or I would listen to the radio. The one point that I really didn't love what Jeff said was when he like made a stick about how Justin sent the text to Jade, especially to a woman. And I didn't like that because it felt very hypocritical coming from Jeff. Like, is Jeff all of a sudden a feminist? Like, should we start calling Jeff Baldoni? Like, is Jeff going to go on to like do a TED Talk about like toxic masculinity? Like, coming from Jeff Lewis to say like, especially to a woman, it's just crazy. Like, that is the most wild allegation you could ever say if you're Jeff Lewis. You can't. Like, sorry. That's like really the wildest thing Jeff Lewis could ever say. So to me, that was a little bit of a stretch. I understand why Evan called as Justin's, fiance and to protect him. I wish he didn't. I don't think it helped. I don't think Evan helped the case for Justin, but I understand why he did. And I know Justin spoke back. So okay. So meanwhile, Heather releases her Patreon. In Heather's Patreon, without going into detail, although like a lot of people are talking about it, but I won't do it here on this show. So you can probably find it for yourself. In Heather's Patreon, she names a lot of names. Okay. She talks about the whole history with her and Justin Martindale with detail. She talks about the whole history of what happened with Jeff. She talks about everything that happened with Megan, because now she and Megan are friends. She talks about everything that happened with Brandy and Julie. She talks about everything that happened with Stu. And then she talks about everything that happened with Fortune Feemster and Sarah Colonna. These are two female comedians. Obviously, a lot of you guys know who they are, who are former friends of Heather that she knew from Chelsea Lately days, and who used to be on Juicy Scoop all the time and who are no longer on Juicy Scoop and who are currently co-hosts on Jeff's show, like recurring co-hosts on Jeff's show, Chumps. And I think a lot of Heather's fans and audience members or Juicy Scoopers have questioned, especially Sarah, because Sarah was a recurring guest and then stopped being on Juicy Scoop and started being on Jeff's show, but no one had addressed it. No one had talked about it. And so finally, Heather did address it. And the only thing that I can say about it without saying what Heather said, because I won't divulge what Heather said, is that there was a tweet that went out yesterday on Twitter, and this was sent to me because I don't even think I follow this account. Let me see if it's even still up, and I'll show it to you guys. Bravo Sprinkles, is it called? Did I just make that up? Bravo Sprinkles? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. If not, I'll look at the text that it was sent to me. Oh yeah, here it is. Bravo. It is Bravo Sprinkles. Let me just show you guys the tweet and the connection. So this tweet says, dang, per Heather McDonald's podcast, both Sarah Colonna and Fortune Feimster were actually fired from Chelsea Handler. Who knew? And Fortune says, I was not fired at all. I was asked to stay, but I had an opportunity to pursue acting and I couldn't do both. But none of that is anyone's business anyway. And then Sarah wrote, who knew? Apparently not Heather. As Fortune said, not that it's anyone's business anyway. And other people are responding. So I don't know. I mean, do I know? I mean, I trust Fortune and Sarah to have their own truth. It's their own lives. But I don't, I'm interested to see kind of like where that goes. I actually, I didn't realize I didn't follow any of those people. I would be interested to know. Justin Martindale also spoke back finally because Justin, I'm friendly with Justin, so I've been chatting with Justin, but I have not been speaking to, or Justin hadn't spoken publicly. And he's kind of taking a low profile since this. He did speak finally on his Facebook group. If you're not part of his Facebook group and you're a fan of his, you can join. And he spoke and he said, I am not like, thanks for your support. What did he specifically say? I remember he said something very calm, very nice. And he basically said, very demure. He said, happy Sunday. I've been laying low this weekend. After all of this unnecessary, untrue BS, I see your sweet messages. I appreciate that. My eyes are now open more than ever on who I've been dealing with on both sides for the last 4 years. I will be sharing my story this week. Just need a minute because this is not how I wanted to start my 2025. But hey, let them. That's a reference to my favorite book by Mel Robbins. Let them. Look, I will say this. I really am trying so hard for 2025 not to get enmeshed into the dramas. I'm just trying to report on them. I want to try to be friendly with people that I like as a human being. Like I like Justin and I hope that doesn't affect me being friends with Justin and also, being friends with other people. I'm going to be on Stu's podcast this week, Chef Stu. So that's going to be great. But I'm a big fan of taking accountability. I'm a big fan of saying I'm sorry. If you listen to yesterday's Patreon, I think you'll be shocked to hear what I have to say, to be 100% honest. Because I've learned a lot in the last couple of years of doing this. My 2-year anniversary, like I said, is today. I think I'm blown away at what I've learned. I had no idea, like the ins and outs of this world. And I think, naive to think that like it was all going to be like rainbows and unicorns. It's not. It's like it's a crazy political game, this whole world. And I've made a lot of enemies that I didn't mean to in this space. And people have, you don't realize your words that you say on these behind these mics, like they will affect people severely because it goes both ways. So I have to be very, very careful with what I say. I don't mean to ever hurt people. I don't want to be out there hurting other people. Like that's not my goal ever. But I'm a fan of these people. Like I'm a fan. So I like to report on it and talk about it. Now I didn't listen to Jeff this morning, so I have absolutely no idea what he said. And I don't know if he even addressed it. Did he? None of you guys are telling me in the comments. I personally, and I chatted with Michael Beck last night. Michael texted me. Michael and I are friendly. And I said, I love you, Michael. I'm not happy with the way Jeff dealt with that. I would tell it to his face. I'm not friendly with Jeff, but I am not happy with the way he handled it. I think he handled it awful. I don't think anyone deserves a public lashing for a week the way that Justin got. What Justin did not deserve that punishment. Even if he didn't get along with some chumps, even if he wrote a mean text, I don't think anyone deserves that kind of public lashing. But everything's content, I guess. So that for me is one of those things, that's just kind of how I do, It's interesting. Asif says Justin for sure does karma. That's not how I roll. I don't roll like that. I don't roll like that. Because that means that like then the karma just keeps going. I don't like that. That's not how I work. So okay. Especially because you're trying to be like a good, whatever. Okay. I think for me, I want someone to Jeff likes being messy. He does. He likes being messy. But I like when Jeff is vulnerable. Like I prefer listening to Jeff Lewis when he is funny and real and vulnerable and honest and like when he's not a jerk. Like I don't like the jerk side. Am I insane to say that? Like I actually prefer him. I think he's hysterical when he's real and honest and like vulnerable. I don't think karma is in play. I don't like this karma bullshit. Like that's not in play. He's a father. He has a kid. Like why can't we just be decent human beings? You could still be funny. You could still be entertaining. Like we're not trying to like kill people. And I was saying, like Crystal said it, like it's all about, Jeff Lewis is like a scary place. It's like Survivor. Actually, Kelly Dodd said it this morning. I tuned in for like a couple minutes to her show and she said it's like Survivor. Jeff Lewis is Survivor. Just like Real Housewives she says it's like Survivor Sorority Survivor. Jeff Lewis is Radio Survivor. It's like which of the chumps will last. And in my opinion, if I could guess, if any of the chumps last for the longest, Shane will be the last standing. And in my opinion, it will be Doug Buden and Ryan Bailey. Those will be the last chumps standing. Don't you guys think? Because they're just the nicest. Like the nicest chumps will be the last one standing. I don't think Ryan will ever do anything to offend anyone because he's just such a nice person. And Doug definitely will never offend anyone. Maybe Carney, Ryan, and Doug will be the last three standing. And Shane, Doug, Ryan, and Jameson. That's it. What a crazy situation over there. Isn't it just like, it's just nuts. But I just think I need a quick break for Jeff Lewis right now. I think I just need a little break. I do. Okay, let's move on for a bunch of you guys that are here. By the way, are you subscribed? I just want to make sure you're subscribed here. Make sure to subscribe and take a second to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and then 5-star review for anyone that's listening on the audio platform. I would love that. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I got like 10 or 15 new reviews over the weekend. That was so kind. Any of those, they help my engagement. They help my ratings. So great. I love it. I appreciate it. Okay. I have to show you guys this clip of Robin falling off the ATV. You don't even have to be a fan of Sister Wives, but you're going to want to hear this. You're going to want to see this and you're going to want to hear this, okay? Because this week on Sister Wives, we finally get to see Robin off an ATV. Cody and Robin, we found out their love language, and it's standing at the top of a mountain and crying to each other and complaining to each other. And then I also will myself jump off a mountain because Christine is still planning that goddamn wedding in Moab. If I have to hear her say, I'm so excited to get married to David one more time, I will literally, hand to God, jump off a building, okay? Mary is still obsessed with Cody, with the blankets, with the buildings, with the signs, with so many mementos. I'm over it. Mary, enough. And Janelle is hardly on the show anymore this week on Sister Wives. You guys, this is a show that absolutely, I mean, damn you, Mary. Damn you, Christine, and damn you, Janelle, because you've made me fall in love with Robin and Cody. You're the only reason I watch the show. Cody and Robin are the best parts of the show. I fast forward through Christine's scenes. I hate David. I've become a David and Christine hater. I literally fast forward through their scenes. I don't think I've ever fast forwarded through any scene of any Sister Wives before the wedding scenes. Now I fast forward through the scenes. No interest whatsoever. But for your pleasure, we start off the show, with Cody and Robin deciding to take a ride through the mountains on an ATV because he says Robin is a speed demon. Robin is a freak in the sheets, y'all. Did you know that? I can feel it. She puts on a leather jacket and she gets on that ATV. Guys, do you guys want to watch it? Of course you do. Of course you do. This moment is from Entertainment Tonight on YouTube. If I get a copyright, it's worth it. Guys, this is so, so good. Must check this scene out. And we may have to watch it 6 times. And if you're not into it, sorry. This is worth it. Please watch.
We're running laps. And then somehow or another, we get crisscrossed to where we're running different directions.
Robin Brown thrown off her ATV and nearly crashing into husband Cody.
It had me freaked out initially. This is my freaking life.
On Sister Wives, the couple takes their 4-wheelers into the woods to enjoy quality time together.
I've been riding 4-wheelers ever since I was about 13 years old. I like the speed. I like just kind of taking jumps.
I think Robin's a little bit of a speed demon.
Yeah, but going a little too fast leads to Robin flying off her rig and toward Cody.
You okay? I don't think anything's broken because you're not
give me a
screaming.
second. My neck is hurting. I didn't lose consciousness. I felt my head hit really hard and I kind of was like, saw stars.
Understandable.
Wait, you guys, hold on. Hold on. Did you see the camera angles when he ran over to her? How crazy it was? Look at this. Look how dramatic.
You okay?
Let's just do the slow motion one more time.
We're running laps. And then somehow or another, we get crisscrossed to where we're running different directions.
Robin Brown thrown off her ATV and
She's gonna milk that shit for 6 seasons. Oh, my neck. My neck. Oh, my neck. My neck. He is dying over. Are you okay? What can I do? What can I do? If Mary fell off that ATV and like kept rolling and she still is rolling through Coyote Pass right now, like she's rolling literally into dead coyotes in Coyote Pass, he would have been like, she's fine. She's okay. Mary, you okay over there in Parowan? Mary, can you get me a soda? Literally, it was the best moment I ever saw in my life. Robin, thank you. You made it worth all the moments in that 1 hour of like those 5 minutes. I actually, Robin, one last time just for the gang, and then we're gonna move on because really, honestly, this recap will just be the Robin and Cody scenes. Like nothing else matters.
Running laps. And then somehow or another, we get crisscrossed to where we're running different directions.
Robin Brown thrown off her ATV and nearly crashing into husband Cody.
I was just having fun.
I know.
I never get to have fun.
Well, you scared me.
Some of my wilder experiences on motorized vehicles.
Ooh.
My kids.
Wait, what was that? Unmotorized vehicles. Is she talking about dildos? I think she was. Let's watch that again.
My kids' vehicles. Experiences on motorized vehicles.
She has sex toys.
My kids don't really know about just because I don't want to. I'm careful. I don't want to be a bad example.
I want to make this my profile picture. Guys, Robin really showed me a different side last night, I have to say. Now, it was a wild moment, I have to say. Then we went to Christine and the wedding. Then we went to Mary and some blanket. Fast forward. But then Cody and Robin, after the injury of her life, they went up to the top of some mountain. They sat at some table, okay? They sat at some table. Yes, you guys, you're right. Her son, Dayton, was seriously injured on an ATV where he was like in the hospital, like all bandaged up, broken, like face, and they've never mentioned him. He is no longer on the show. They don't talk about Dayton. He's like Bruno, right? You don't talk about Bruno. They don't talk about Dayton. They don't talk about anything. It's really, really strange. Cody, she says, was, you know, she says in her interview, like in her confessional, she goes, Cody came over and he was like yelling at me. All I wanted was him to love on me. And he came over and he was yelling at me. You guys, this is weird because Cody comes over and he's like, are you okay? What happened? Why did you do that? What is that? He was nervous. And she's like, stop yelling at me. Why don't you just give me love? You guys, they're weird. They're so weird. Then they go up to this like patio thing, right? They're like sitting on some table. I don't even know where the hell they are. And they're having this conversation. He's hysterically laughing. He loves this woman so much. It's actually so crazy because you can really tell she's the only one that he loves. And she says, he goes, I really brought you here to say I love you. And she goes, you haven't been yourself. Then they continue to cry and yell at each other, basically, and like passionately talk to each other for about the next 3 hours. And then I realized this is their version of like foreplay. They don't know how to just be fun and happy and carefree. They need to get deep into the depths of like serious conversation. There needs to be tears. There needs to be depression. There needs to be like real serious like accusations thrown around. There needs to be conversation about Mary. There needs to be conversations about Janelle and Christine. He needs to blame her for something. They need to talk about polygamy and monogamy. They need to talk about the fact that her dreams are ruined and the porch is not going to happen and she's not going to have a sister wife anymore and she now needs to be a single wife. They need to talk about all of these things at all times, all the time, for them to have like a date. They never just enjoy life. And I guarantee you they went home and banged so hard that night because they had all the makings of foreplay for Robin and Cody. They ATV'd. She flew off the ATV. He was her knight in shining armor. Then she cried. He got to passionately talk. He put on his gloves. Okay. He had his sunglasses up on his head. Very Guy Fieri-like. He got to wear his leather jacket. He got to blame her on something. She got to cry and be the victim. He got to take care of her. He got to mention how Mary was wrong and how he didn't love Mary, how Christine's a horrible human being, and how Janelle's not intimate with her. She got to cry more. He got to tell her he loved her. And then they got to go home to the purple passionate princess palace and bang. This is their like, this is their version of like going out on a romantic date. Like my husband and I, we go out, we have a cocktail, we eat a nice dinner, we come home, we have a nice time, right? They ATV, they fly, they fight, they cry, they go home, they bang. That's their relationship. 100%. Leslie's wondering, do you think Robin wore a neck brace during their special time? 1000%. She always puts on the neck brace. He loves when she puts on the neck brace because then he feels like I captured you, you know, like, He puts on the work gloves for sex. Absolutely, he does. He's working. It's a business. It's a job. He also puts on his moving shirt, you know, like Cody's movers. He does. He puts it. It's all. Oh, he puts on gear. Probably puts on knee pads. Knowing Cody, he puts on a visor. Definitely. All of it. Cody probably has like a flag of some sort some sort of banner that he puts outside of his bedroom. When they go inside their bedroom and to have sex, he probably puts on a banner outside of his bedroom that he's like on duty, fornicating, making love, making more babies, baby making. Jen Helen says he wears his hairnet. And then the whole time he's sleeping with her, the whole time he's making love, he's saying to her, it's your fault. It's your fault that this didn't work. It's your fault that I've been with Mary and Parowan. It's your fault. Patrice says he brings his tape measure. He brings that measure wherever he goes. You know how Demi Moore said last night in her speech, like, drop the measuring stick? He's like, never. I never drop the measuring stick. Suki says I fast forward through the best party of the show last night. There's no way. Which party? Should we watch it together? Was there a good party that I fast forwarded through? Because there's no way if it was Christine's. I couldn't do it. I was allergic. I started sneezing. Josh says the fact Cody gets more action than me is depressing. Oh my God. You guys, it's very hard for me to do full recaps of Sister Wives because I just can't do some of those characters. I just can't anymore. Do you think, yeah, Cody, Cuter Pony says definitely gun paraphernalia. Do you think that Cody does pretend to do, like, does he do finger guns during sex? He does. He totally does. He's probably, come on, Robin, put him up. I can't. Thank God these are at the end of the episode because they're so unhinged. He's like, come on, Robin. Let's go. Oh my God. You guys, thank God for Cody. TGFK? How do you spell Cody? Well, listen, Cody is at least getting laid. At least Cody's getting laid, you know. There's a lot of people out there that can't. Do you think Mary's getting laid? I hope Mary's getting laid. I would like to see Robin's daughters move out of that casa and, like, smile. I want to see Robin's daughter. I would like Robin's daughters to write a tell-all. That's what we need. We need Robin's older daughter to move out of that house and write a tell-all. That's what we need to tell all. No, truly needs to write a tell-all. Oh my God. Okay. Well, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting the show. 2 years of fun, 2 years of laughs, 2 years of depression, 2 years of anxiety, 2 years of trolls, 2 years of all the craziness. Thank you for joining on Patreon also, where I share all my innermost feelings. And it's been a ride. It's been such a ride, but it's been so much fun. And your comments kill me too. I love you guys. I appreciate you for being here. And I will talk to you mañana on Tuesday. Bye, y'all. Bye.